Welcome back to another episode of The PA is In, the show created by PAs for PAs, where codependency with your supervising physician is a thing of the past. Optimal team practice is the future, and physician associate has taken the place of physician assistant as the professional title of choice. Over here, we are redefining what success as a physician associate looks like and what it feels like. You'll find tangible, practical things, the actual things that I use to escape healthcare burnout, the exact mindset shifts, money habits, systems, and processes that I used to become a unicorn PA. I now have a job that I love, abundant energy, time to spare, and the coveted work optional financial freedom. I'm sharing everything that has helped me to navigate over a decade of PA life so that you can live long and prosper too. This PA is in. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about asking for what you want. So, if you know me, you know that I love to teach on negotiation and on asking for what you want at work. But this story is a personal one. It seems fitting that with Christmas just around the corner, or whatever gift giving season is coming up as you happen to tune into this episode, that I would share a little story about my dear, sweet mother in law. So, my mother in law's name is Gloria. We've been married, not her and I, me and Dan have been married 10 years. So, I have celebrated 10 Christmases with Gloria buying presents. She loves to buy things for our kids. She is super generous and very thoughtful with her gifts. But after the first couple of years that we were married, I noticed a pattern. We'll call it a pattern. I noticed a pattern with gift giving, and I realized that my sister in law, who would come to our house for Christmas morning, was getting like a Coach purse or these Gooder sunglasses, like these things that were awesome that I would have loved to have received on Christmas morning. And I was opening up not bad gifts, just not that kind of gift. I was opening up hand lotion and fuzzy socks from the dollar section at Target and cute little Christmas decorations and candles and things that generally people like, but not the things that I specifically wanted. So we'd probably been married a couple of years. And I said to Dan, hey, I don't know if it's just because I'm not her actual daughter and I'm her daughter in law. And I just happen to be married to one of her sons, but she didn't actually birth me. But your mom doesn't give me the greatest gifts. And Dan said, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it seems like you're getting like the same things. And I was like, no, I'm getting like fuzzy aloe socks, and your sister is getting this adorable purse that she loves. So I'm not sure like where the miscommunication or where the breakdown is. And so he says, well, let me just ask my sister. So he calls his sister up and he says, hey, how come you get good gifts from mom and Tracy gets like less awesome gifts? And my sister-in-law, Sal, I love you if you were listening to this, says, oh, she's not sending links? And I'm like, links? Like, what kind of links? She's like hyperlinks. Like, you're not sending mom links to stuff that you want for Christmas. And I'm like, is that a thing? Like, was that in the Bingaman family rule book? Like, no one mentioned to me, like, I'm supposed to be sending links? And she's like, yeah, just send her a link to like the purse that you want or the sunglasses that you want or like whatever you want. Now, like, Christmas is about Christ and Christmas is about Jesus coming, and Jesus was born and he came to earth, and that's incredible. But also, I didn't know that I was supposed to be specifically asking for exactly what I wanted. And so I started asking. I started sending a link to this purse or that thing. I'm not really that into purses. I'm not sure why I'm using purses as the example, although this year I did ask for a new purse. Maybe I am more into purses than I realized. The moral of the story is that I didn't know that I should be so specific with my requests, with what I wanted for Christmas. And this applies to so many areas of PA life. If you want your patient to do something, are you specifically requesting that they do it in a certain way? Are you explaining to them in a way that's going to break it down so that they understand, so that they can do the thing that you're asking? When you are interviewing for a job and you receive an offer and you counter offer, and yes, you should always counter to the offer that you've been given. Are you specifically asking for this much more money, these improved hours, this reduction in template, this improvement in support staff? Are you being specific in what you're putting out there as a request? This is a reminder that if you are being vague, or if you are just walking around talking about the things that you wish your mother-in-law would get you for Christmas, or the things that you wish your employer would see and commend you and compensate you for, those non-specific, non-requests are not going to be fulfilled. So you need to specifically ask for what you want. You need to request the meeting to talk about the thing that you've been complaining about. You need to ask for the specific compensation plan that you deserve. And you need to send, apparently, your mother-in-law a link with the purse that you want to get. I put together a list of 5 mistakes that I see PAs making when they ask for a raise. If you're not speaking the language of your employer, if you're not saying, here's how I add value in these ways that are measurable and important to you, that's one of the biggest mistakes that we see. If you want to find the other mistakes, you can go to tracybingman.com/mistakes and download your guide completely free. 5 mistakes that I see people making, and the 5 things to do instead, or the ways to rectify those mistakes, or the ways to avoid those mistakes next time you ask for a raise. And next time you ask for a raise, I want you to be exceedingly specific about what you want. Less is not specific enough. More is not specific enough. So if you're thinking, well, I want to make more money, obviously, like, yes, I know you want to make more money. Do you want to make more dollars per hour? Do you want to work fewer hours per week? How many hours? How many fewer? How many more dollars per hour? You are worth more than you are being paid at work, but no one is going to come along and say, hey, how much do you want to be making? We've actually been meaning to ask you, Tracy, how much do you want to be making? And if someone did come along with that question, would you be ready to answer it? So starting with specifically defining where you want to go in your career and what you want to be making and the hours that you want to be working and the specific type of patients that you want to be seeing. If you work in family practice and you love patients who are diabetic and you want to carve out a little subspecialty of family practice where those are the patients that you're taking care of, have you asked? Have you specifically said, this is a passion of mine. This is part of my purpose and what I do as a PA, and I would love to take care of these patients specifically. Being specific means that you're telling people how you want them to treat you. And when it comes to manifesting, when you're specific about what you're putting out there in the world, you're vibrating at that frequency, and those things are going to come back into your life. So don't just say, I want to make more next year. Say, I want to make $24,000 more in 2023 than I made in 2022. Figure out how many hours you're working and say specifically how much less you want to work, or that you don't want to work Mondays, or that you don't want to work Fridays, or that you want to get rid of call altogether. Be specific about what you're asking for so that you can get that back when people fulfill that request. So I'm off to send my mother-in-law a link. Just kidding. I sent it to her months ago because I really wanted to make sure that I got the specific purse that I wanted. But this is your friendly holiday reminder to ask for what you want. Because when people ask you what you want, they truly want to know what you want, apparently. And if you send them specific links, then you're more likely to end up with what you want in the end. I hope that your holiday season is filled with peace, peace that passes understanding. I hope it's filled with joy and togetherness, and that if you are working, you have the time to spend with your family outside of work and outside of the hospital when your day off comes around. I hope you're leveraging that PTO to the hilt to the very end of the year, and that you're getting paid to take that time off and to enjoy things and people and whatever you love to do outside of work. I want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of The PA is In. If this episode inspired you to ask specifically for what you want, if the stories we shared and the advice that I gave resonated with you, the best Christmas present that you could give me is a 5-star review and a rating and a little couple of sentences about how this podcast has helped you, has touched you, has changed or improved your life. That would be the very best present that you could give me. Consider sharing this episode with a friend who needs a reminder to ask for what he or she wants in the world. Thank you for tuning in once again to the show by PAs for PAs. Welcome to the club. What most people do is they subscribe so that they won't miss future episodes and advice. I'm so glad that you find your way here where we help you to design your life so that you can live long and prosper. It's your turn to get inspired, take effective action, and become one of those unicorn PAs who loves their job, has abundant energy, time to spare, and financial freedom. This PA is out.